Hey, BBN, let's be honest right out of the gate. Firing Mark Pope right now wouldn't just be controversial, it would be a $1 million catastrophe for Kentucky. And that's not hyperbole. You're already hearing it across message boards, radio shows, and social feeds. Frustration, impatience, second guessing. But the real question isn't whether some fans are uneasy. It's whether pulling the plug would make any sense at all. So let's slow this down, strip away the emotion, and actually analyze what's happening. Because in the nonstop noise of elite college basketball, few debates in Lexington are louder right now than Mark Pope, his contract, and what would really justify a drastic move. The conversation picked up steam as parts of the BBN began wondering if patience has an expiration date. But when you zoom out and put the numbers into context, the argument shifts quickly. Pope wasn't hired on a whim. When Kentucky named him head coach in April of 2024, it came with a very clear message from the administration. This was a long-term investment, financially and philosophically. Stability wasn't just a talking point. It was written directly into the deal. That deal was a 5-year contract worth $27.5 million, with a salary structure that escalates annually, starting at $5 million and rising to $6 million by the 2028 to 2029 season, plus performance incentives baked in. The biggest of those incentives was an automatic extension and raise tied to a Sweet 16 appearance. And that box was checked immediately in year one. That Sweet 16 run, even with the eventual loss to Tennessee, mattered far beyond one game. It marked Kentucky's first trip to the second weekend of the NCAA Tournament since 2018-19, snapping a stretch defined by early exits, inconsistency, and seasons that never quite felt like Kentucky basketball. Symbolically and practically, it restored direction to a program that had been searching for it. And that success triggered the extension clause, pushing Pope's contract through the 2029-30 season and dramatically raising the financial stakes of any potential breakup. It's fair to remember that Pope's hiring wasn't universally celebrated. Some fans viewed it as a sentimental decision tied to his playing history rather than a purely analytical coaching hire. But that skepticism softened quickly. Rick Pitino's public endorsement carried weight, and the roster bought into Pope's offensive vision faster than many expected. The first season had its bumps, as any transition year does, but it also produced tangible competitiveness, a 24-12 record, respectable SEC play, and wins that reminded people what Kentucky can look like when it's connected and confident. Fast forward to now, and the tone is different. Expectations skyrocketed after major roster investment heading into the 2025-26 season, and the uneven results have reignited criticism, especially following home losses and struggles against top-tier opponents. Still, boiling the evaluation down to a few frustrating nights ignores the broader resume. 33 wins in 51 games, and a postseason breakthrough the program hadn't experienced in years. This is where the buyout becomes impossible to ignore. With the extension active, Pope's remaining contract value sits around $23.5 million. Firing him now would require Kentucky to pay roughly 75% of that, about $17.6 million, to walk away. Even waiting another season barely softens the blow, with the buyout still north of $13 million after year 3, tapering down only near the end of the deal. Those figures make it clear this wouldn't just be a basketball decision. It would be a financial earthquake with ripple effects across the entire athletic department. More importantly, they confirm what the contract already told us. This project was designed with patience in mind, in an era where patience is almost extinct. The Sweet 16 wasn't a fluke footnote. It was a validation point that justified continuity. In today's college basketball climate, pressure is constant and narratives flip overnight. But by every measurable standard, Mark Pope has earned the right to continue steering this program. Pulling the plug now wouldn't just be expensive. It would undermine the very stability Kentucky claimed it wanted when it made this hire. That said, the current moment is undeniably uncomfortable. A 9-6 record and a troubling 2-6 mark against stronger competition clashes hard with Kentucky's historical standard. Pope hasn't hidden from that reality. In fact, His response has been strikingly direct. "We're not doing our job," he said. "No excuses, no deflection." When CBS Sports handed the program a D-grade evaluation, Pope didn't push back. He agreed, even suggesting it might be generous. That level of accountability matters in a pressure cooker like Lexington. As Kentucky gears up for its next test at Rupp Arena, the chance for momentum still exists. One win won't fix everything, but it can change the tone. Beneath the turbulence, the program's foundation remains intact, guided by leadership that appears willing to confront flaws rather than ignore them. Meanwhile, zooming out beyond basketball, Kentucky athletics continues to make calculated moves. On the football side, the visit from Richard Young, former Alabama running back and elite 2023 recruit, is a signal of intent. Young brings a strong resume, including 1,755 rushing yards and 20 touchdowns in high school, along with experience inside one of the most demanding programs in the country. With 2 years of eligibility left, Young is searching for opportunity and growth, and Kentucky offers both. His visit reflects the reality of the NIL and transfer era, where elite talent is mobile and programs that sell development can win big. More than stats, his potential arrival symbolizes Kentucky positioning itself as more than a participant, as a destination. If Young ultimately lands in Lexington, the impact would stretch beyond the field, reinforcing a broader narrative. Kentucky is building, recalibrating, and aiming for relevance across the board. And that theme, patience paired with ambition, is exactly what defines the Mark Pope era right now. Now I want to hear from you. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Let me know where you stand on Pope, the buyout, and the direction of Kentucky basketball. If you enjoyed this breakdown, hit that like button, subscribe for more in-depth analysis, and we'll keep this conversation going.